Hey everybody, it's Eddie J on Crypto. Hope you're having a great day. So took a few days off, had to travel for business, and obviously a lot of things happened. I told you Thursday that Powell. Actually, I told you early last week Powell was going to talk on Thursday. He started talking and sent the markets, both regular stock markets as well as Cryptoverse, just roiling. Right. Let's really get down to it. Do you think there's an opportunity for Jerome Powell to up the rates by a full percentage point in September? And my answer to that question is there is a possibility. Is there a strong possibility? No. If you recall, everything that is within the Federal Reserve's power, upping rates, that kind of thing, the effect of that is lagging. And if you recall, I believe it was July numbers that said, hey, they're starting to see good signs. Starting to see good signs. However, those signs cannot be taken as this is what's happening, right? There needs to be more data. That makes sense. However, how he said that caused a problem, right? The words that he chose were not very well thought out, which is why Elizabeth Warren went off the deep end and started, just screaming on him. And she's not wrong. He could have delivered the same information without crashing markets. But instead, he delivered that information and didn't crash, but definitely sent the markets, tremendously lower. Not a good idea, clearly. That said, right? That said, I think people need to learn to stop and think for themselves. Stop and do their own research. Look at all the numbers that are out there. Stop relying on one person's word. And I'm not just talking about cryptocurrency. I'm talking about the stock market in general, just life in general, right? Do your own research. Because if you did your own research, you'd pull back and you'd say, well, wait a second. There's always a chance that, he could go and chart and up the rate by 1%. There's definitely going to be an up, right? There's definitely going to be an increase. And everybody's crying that, oh, if you increase too much, you could do this and blah, blah. There's going to be another increase. And the reason why is because all the data is lagging. And so if you look at the data from now, from July to September, that would be enough data to say how much they should increase. Because they would also be able to project what that increase could do going forward and then be able to say at that point, you know what, we're going to pause. Again, my theory is that they're going to up by 75 basis points in September and then possibly another 50 in the next round, right? And then pause. That is my theory. And it's just a theory. I'm not a numbers person, but that's what I'm thinking based on the research that I'm doing and everything that I see. That's what I think is going to happen. And I think that makes the most sense. Everybody's saying, oh, you need to put the brakes on, increasing rates and blah, blah, blah. Chill out with that. I don't think that's the case. I really do think that, another increase is necessary. It could be 50. I think the chances of a 50 are greater than 100. But I don't think either one of them is high. I think the 75 basis points is going to be high. I think the comment about, another unprecedented rate increase would be the 75 basis points because it would be consecutive, not necessarily that it would be one. So I think people are freaking out for no reason. Well, I'd say that it is one, which I don't think it will be. And there are a few reasons why I don't think it will be. Another one would be that Europe is not in a good place. They're not. And Europe always gets hit hardest compared to the United States. They've got a number of issues, economic issues, and then they have macro factors that affect those economic issues, such as dependency on Russia for fuel, for energy, right? So that's going to wind up being a very, very, very big deal. Now, if you look at that, and how does that play out? Well, that would mean that the dollar's probably going to get hot, or could get hot, more hot than what it is now against the euro, which at one point had not just reached parity with the US dollar, but had dropped below for a period. Excuse me. So when I look at this, I kind of say, well, that would mean our economy would be a little hot. It would be a little hard. Companies would have a hard time moving funds from Europe to the United States. In other words, repatriating money. So there are a lot of factors that go into this. So for me, I think it's going to be a 75 basis point hike followed by a 50 and then a pause. I don't think it's going to be a 1. I think his reference was toward a consecutive 75. Although not unprecedented, it would be odd to see another 75 in that space. And I think that's what sent people freaking out, right? When you're looking at the Cryptoverse, all of the coins took a hit. I want you to pay attention to something though. A little over a month ago, Ethereum was under $1,000, right? Ethereum is at 14 and change right now. I'm not going to bother to show you the numbers. You can go look at that yourself. This is not one of those things. I didn't do my roundup yesterday, which was Sunday, and yeah, I'm doing it now. So my outlook is that, it's going to be 75.50. The Cryptoverse will start to wake up again the closer we come to 2 events. The first being the Vassal hard fork for Cardano. The second being the merge for Ethereum. I think those are going to be 2 catalysts that can really pop things off. Okay? I think those are things that could really make things strong for this particular space. And I think that there are a lot of market factors that pushed everything lower to create buying opportunities that are going to go forward and go higher. Some people are still yapping about, the Mt. Gox issues. And the possibility of 140,000 Bitcoin coming online and everything else. I was listening to George Tung and I agree with him. Listen, the odds of somebody coming on and selling Bitcoin right now due to the Mt. Gox payments, payments out to people that are owed, I think are slim and nil. And I think the reason why is simply because you're talking about Bitcoin that had hit 70. Why would I sell in the teens or in the 20s or even the 30s when I know the potential is there to hit 70 again? That'd be dumb. So I think you're going to see a lot of people hold on to that. Whoever's involved with Mt. Gox and who's expecting money back, if they're not dealing with Fortress is buying out a lot of people's stuff, paying them, pennies on the dollar for their money, for their Bitcoin that they will get back. And Fortress is going to hold. It would take, George was mentioning, a lot of people talking about, well, if Saylor was to sell, Saylor's not going to sell. Okay, Michael Saylor's not going to sell. He will leverage his ass off before he sold. I want you to think about that and see how realistic that is. He would leverage his ass off before he sold Bitcoin. And the reason why is because the value of Bitcoin and the opportunity for it to rise in value is there. And it's proven already several times over. Major drop, major increase, major drop, major increase, surpassing where it had previously set highs. So you're poised for the same thing now. So when I look at, crypto and where it could go and how it can happen and what can happen, it's not for the faint of heart. Just like the stock market, it's not for the faint of heart. You either know what you're doing, you either know your research, or have belief, you've done what you need to do, you've invested where you want to invest, but it is not for the faint of heart. If you got into crypto because of FOMO, fear of missing out, because other people are involved and blah, 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 wah, 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 then you're probably involved for the wrong reasons. If you're involved because you believe in blockchain technology, its usefulness, and you start to see where that blockchain technology is being implemented and all that good stuff, now you're thinking. Now you're doing your own research. Now you're starting to put things together. Doesn't mean any of us are experts, but it means that you're starting to put things together and formulate your own ideas and opinions, which is good. When I look at Gary Gensler and what he's doing through the arm or fist of the SEC, going after Grayscale, having them answer questions about 3 specific coins. I think it's Zcash, Stellar. Need to pay attention to that because that's equivalent to Ripple, which is exactly. And I forgot the third one. Is it Litecoin? I forget which one it is. Could be Litecoin, but I haven't done that much research into it. But the fact that he's asking those questions makes it sound like he's probably going to go after a couple of those coins as being securities as opposed to commodities, right? Gary Gensler is off the freaking chain. He's way beyond. He's way, way, way beyond. Right? I see him doing what Elon wants him to do, investigate Twitter. What is there to investigate? They made their statements. You accepted their statements, and now you're saying they're lying. And I'm sitting back and I'm going, there's a clause in what they're saying. They said, well, these are the numbers that we have now. They could be off based on what we did. Somebody else could do something else. They didn't lie. They just weren't 100% behind those numbers because there are certain facts that happen. If I was Gary Gensler, I would look at social media in general to see, well, how many, fake accounts exist anywhere. Open up an account and just start, clicking on things, liking things, that kind of stuff. Don't post jack. I have a TikTok account, for example. Under one of my company names, we have a TikTok account. We already have followers. We haven't posted a single damn thing. How do we have followers? See where I'm going? The followers aren't even people that, we've liked anything. They're bogus accounts. They're bogus accounts meant for you to go follow back, to reciprocate, and do that kind of thing. So when I look at the investigation of Twitter, I just kind of go, as a technologist, person that's involved in that business, I just sit back and I just go, Gary Gensler's off the chain. He's off his fucking rocker. As well as he should be saying, we're investigating for different reasons, but it has nothing to do with, Elon Musk and Twitter. He shouldn't have if he was going to investigate Twitter, he should have waited until after everything is over with Elon Musk. Because now he's tainting whatever court case could possibly happen. And that whatever court case happens between Musk and Twitter could be affected by what Gary Gensler's doing and be forced to wait for what the SEC comes back with. SEC is constantly making people wait and doing what they want to do and not necessarily doing what's right for the people. Because they work for the people. That's what they're supposed to be doing. They're not supposed to be working for one person to investigate what they want them to do. How did that get bubbled up? You know what I'm saying? There's so many things they should be investigating. How did the Twitter thing get bubbled up? That should be the least of their worries. The least of their worries. Twitter made their statements and they signed off on it. We accepted it. Moving on. If we're going to investigate them, that's so far down the totem pole. That's where it should be. But because Elon Musk said something, it went up on the list. Boom, we're going to do it. Makes you stop and think, right? So yeah. So you have macro events that happen that can affect markets, where Gary Gensler is starting to poke his nose into other coins, other established coins. No, it wasn't Litecoin. It was it Optimism? It was a couple of privacy coins in addition to Stellar. And you can see why privacy coins would, set off the SEC. Even still, if you're not setting regulation and you're not saying anything, setting regulation by iron-fisted investigations is not the way to go. Set the ground rules, tell everybody to abide by the ground rules, and investigate those that do not abide by the ground rules. That's what you should be doing. but he's wasting time and money. My money, your money, every taxpayer's money. So macro events like that could happen. But I firmly think that, Europe is going to have a problem that's going to affect the markets. You're going to have to see money being able to be moved in major ways, and those major ways really, to me, are crypto. Fast, easy, accepted, adopted. I think that's what we're going to wind up seeing. As far as the U.S. economy is going to go, I think we have to worry about being overly hot as compared to Europe. Anyway, you already know that the market right now is red. To me, I'm evaluating not whether or not to buy, it's what I'm going to buy. Do the research on the coins that you're interested in. Like I'm looking at XRP. When I look at where XRP is now at 32.5 cents, right? I sit here and I look at that number and I go, wow. Big drops for Ethereum, for Bitcoin, not XRP, right? When I look at Cardano's dropped a lot, 43 cents, I think it was at 49 or something like that, been as high as in the 50s. Big drops. Bigger opportunity for Cardano for me to get involved in that? Highly possible. Polygon at 78 cents. Big drop from where it was just a little while ago, above $1. Hit above $1, stayed above $1, came back down. Okay, great. Over that time, it's dropped, what, 30 cents? Okay, cool. 30%. Cool. All right. But wait a minute. Not as hard as a hit as other coins. I might want to take a look at that. Shiba Inu down. Big in terms of where it's at right now. Buying opportunity. I think Polygon, Shiba Inu are buying opportunities for me. I like XRP. I like Cardano. I think Cardano is buying for me. I think the Vassal fork, you're going to see Cardano shoot up. That's what I'm looking at. Anyway, this is Eddie J on crypto. I hope you like what I had to say. Going forward, I'll be looking at each one of those things to help me make my buying decisions. If you like what I'm doing, do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and absolutely hit the notification bell so you know what I'm doing and when I drop the new videos. Have a great day. Bye-bye.